I'm joined now by Dr. Antonia Baum. She's the president of the International Society for Sports Psychiatry. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
So we're talking about exercise addiction. That's your focus. Now, it's interesting because you hear a lot of people say people need to work out more. You don't hear a lot about people that work out too much.
Well, I have a tendency to try to minimize pathologizing behaviors because I think it's unhelpful to do that. Having said that, there is an entity of overexercise. Sometimes it's in the context of an eating disorder. So you have to look at it in the bigger picture.
Right.
And I think it's really important to assess, is the exercise affecting the person's life in a negative way or is it not? Obviously an elite athlete, and I work with elite athletes, someone who's a Sunday jogger might see them as exercise addicted, but obviously it's their vocation,
right,
and they're not going to succeed unless they're pretty obsessively and compulsively
because they're reaching
towards
a goal.
Right.
Yeah.
But even for some of us average citizens, regular exercise is an important part of just being psychologically healthy and happy. So again, I think it's really important, and I always do take an exercise history with my patients, but I think it's very important not to rush to judgment that someone is over-exercising.
Right.
But again, you do have to look at eating behaviors, what people's goals are, what motivates them. So
there might be something underlying their exercise that is psychological, for instance, that might be pushing them to exercise.
While that's true, sometimes that push to exercise can be very therapeutic.
Right.
So again, you have to sort of look at it on a spectrum, and if it's not causing harm in a person's life but actually doing some good, because as addictions go, I think we can all agree that exercise is a relatively healthier one
Fairly
than
healthy,
doing crack cocaine. So
yes. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Are there similar behavioral signs as far as, like, if you're looking at someone who's addicted to, say, alcohol, is an addiction, are the signs similar?
Well, when you look at the criteria that we tend to use in psychiatry, to the extent that they're useful, any criteria, for abuse or dependence of a substance, you're looking at things like, does the person go to any means to obtain the substance? Do they damage relationships in the process? Do they do it in spite of harm to themselves? So a lot of those, or do they need to do more and more and more to get the same effect? Do they go through withdrawal if they can't have it? So those are some of the things that you could look at in an analogous way. But again, I do caution people to be too quick to pathologize exercise, because there are plenty of people who feel out of sorts if they don't get to exercise, they miss their exercise one day, but I'm not so sure that's a bad thing. Now, I'm biased, but...
Well, I hope you have a great conference.
Thank you.
And I look forward to hearing more about your sessions. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Antonia Baum.
Very nice to meet you.